everyone, my name is Andy and this is my daughter Ivana. And first of all, welcome to my channel. This is brand new for us, so we don't know what we're doing, believe us. So this channel is going to be our journey on being a family with a new member who has special needs. So maybe you're going through the same things that I'm going through or that I did go through, and it might help you, it might not, but thanks for watching and subscribe. This first video, we wanted to start just by telling you obviously how it started. Obviously me and my husband got pregnant, so we were very excited, and it was, I think, 4 weeks into the pregnancy, we went to the doctor, the gynecologist, and they did an ultrasound. And the first thing they say it was an empty egg. So for those of you who don't know, literally it seems like the sac where the baby's supposed to be, it's inside you, but there's no baby inside. So they couldn't find the baby. They saw the little egg, but no baby. So it was very frustrating. Obviously, we were sad. We cried a little bit, a lot. But thank God, after a few weeks, the baby was there. Everything went fine, went normal. And it was until week 20th that they did another ultrasound. And while we were going through the ultrasound, the technician did what everybody does. So I'm pretty sure if you're going through this, you're going to see this happening. They're not going to tell you, oh my God, there's something wrong with your baby right now. Look, no, they're like, oh, okay, well, you need to talk to the doctor because there's some abnormalities. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's their favorite word. I'm not sure. So once we were taken to the doctor, the gynecologist, first thing he just like spit it out. He's like, hydrocephalus. Now, if you do what I did, which is Google right away everything that they tell you, and you Google hydrocephalus, you're gonna find pictures of horrible scenarios, like horrible. So if you take hydrocephalus and what Google says and shows, and you think that's your baby, believe me that it's horrible. It's a horrible situation. I don't think anybody can, unless you're going through this, you can understand how it feels to be so excited and a second later, like lose all hope and feel, devastated, because that's at 20 weeks, you already feel your baby. You already know, they might have already told you what gender the baby was. So you already know names. You're excited. You're already all there. You already told everybody. And then for them to tell you, something, it's very wrong. It's obviously devastating. Okay, so after that, we were referred to maternal fetal specialist. And he confirmed Dandy Walker. He said Dandy Walker syndrome. He even printed out a page of a book. He gave it to us. He said there was enlarged ventricles, a malformation of the cerebellum. There was part of the corpus callosum missing, and a bunch of stuff that if you're a normal person like I am, you will probably not understand half of them. What do you want to say? So this is our little Dandy Walker baby, which is very frustrated right now. But as you can tell, like any other baby, she doesn't like to be held the same position. Sorry about that. We had to put the baby away a little bit so I can finish the story. Anyways, we went to the maternal fetal and he confirmed Dandy Walker, which, like I said, it's a bunch of conditions. Syndrome, which, it means it's a bunch of conditions together that makes a syndrome. And basically what it will affect its motor skills according to what it's seen. Obviously, like any other syndrome, Dandy Walker, it's not every Dandy Walker kid it's the same. Like none of them are the same. None of them have the same, disabilities, abilities, whatever. We were seeing him every week for the rest of the pregnancy. We went to a cardiologist because at one point they thought there was also a malformation of the heart. So you can imagine a pregnancy as it is. It's hard to be pregnant. You get hormonal, everything it's bad, blah blah blah. But with special needs kids that they're telling you that there's all this thing wrong, then it's obviously you're gonna feel overwhelmed. So I'm gonna go ahead and touch bases with you guys on a lot of things that if you're going through this, you're gonna hear. First of all, just putting it out there, they are gonna give you the option, most likely, to have an abortion. Terminate the pregnancy. They don't say abortion, they say terminate the pregnancy. Which after, because you start Googling everything, I got part of a group of people that are very lovely, the Dandy Walker Alliance, who I have met people that actually did terminate their pregnancy. And I mean, it's judgment free, obviously. You guys have to do whatever was best for you. So my husband, he was told, you know what, the life expectancy of a person with Dandy Walker is not very long, it's not very good. And so you get hit with all this information, and most of them is gonna be negative, and you have to make your decision. So we decided to keep our baby, obviously. And from that moment on, we said, you know, whatever it hits us, we're gonna deal with it, we're gonna roll with the punches, and that's what we've been doing so far. So, but like I said, if you're going through the situation and that option is given to you, you need to make your own decision based on your life, on what you're going through and what you can offer to your kid, obviously. Well, anyways, every doctor out there, because it's a rare syndrome, they'll give you different answers. They'll tell you different possibilities. They'll tell you, hey, well, might not be walking, or might not move at all, or it might be a good kid, it's just a little bit delay, or you know, it's everything so different. Like I said, not one Dandy Walker kid is the same, so there's not a specific mold that your kid is gonna fall into it. You are gonna try, because I did try, that you talk to other parents, and then you ask them, hey, well, what did they tell you? Oh, let me see their MRI. And you start comparing, and you're like, oh, well, my kid is, I think it's between this kid, and this kid talks, and this kid walks, so maybe it's gonna walk and talk. But you know, it's not gonna work that way. It doesn't. Every brain is different, and sometimes the same malformation can have different results to a different kid, because you don't know, and nobody knows. So if special needs and Dandy Walker, in my experience, what I can tell you, it's a waiting game, and it's gonna be a waiting game forever. I thought it was until she was born, and then now everything's gonna be answered, and no, it's not. More questions are gonna come along. Is she gonna meet her milestones? Can she see? Can she hear? It's gonna be a waiting game forever. So going back to our reality, she was born at 37 weeks because she was falling behind on weight. So they're like, you know what, 37 is considered for a full term, so let's go ahead and get her out. So I had a C-section, everything went well. I had to say my pregnancy, I was fine. I never had any type of preeclampsia or diabetes or anything like that. It was just a baby. So when she was born, she failed her hearing test on the right side, 100% on the left, perfect. Her right hand, it's in like an odd position. She doesn't open it completely, and she goes like this, she moves her wrist, but she doesn't open. She's like in a tight fist, and it was like this. You know, it's a weird position. And her right foot is also smaller than her left. So I'm pretty sure you already figured out everything on her right, it was affected. You could tell her mouth, when she was born, her mouth it looked like she had a little stroke. I don't know if you've seen that stroke patient, but it was like a crooked mouth on the right, so like this. So it was a little bit shocking to see, but the people at the hospital were so helpful. The nurses especially, they were like, you know what? You need to focus on the positive for now, and you'll work with it. You can put it on therapy, and you can do this and that and blah, 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 and it'll be fine. And so far, that's what we've done. Since the day that she was born, we've been contacted by our pediatrician, referred us to early childhood intervention, which provided occupational therapy, physical therapy, and the early childhood intervention so far, and she's barely 2 months, which it seems like a lot. And as a mother, this is very overwhelming. I had to get a book where I would write my appointments, and I still got confused at times. And one time I was a pediatrician and the lady from the occupational therapy was here, so I had to leave and I felt confused. It's a mess, and your brain, you're gonna feel like it's a meltdown for sure eventually. So husbands, be ready to support your wife, and wife, be ready, because you will have a meltdown. So anyways, we had to make appointments with a pediatrician, neurologist, ophthalmologist, the ear, nose, and throat specialist, the retina specialist, because she has some little bit of issues on the retina, and the orthopedic person. So, but everything, it's coming along, and so far she's doing good. I will say every doctor, besides the waiting game, this is, I feel like I'm in the, I don't know, like a auction. Like, because I go to, I'm like, okay, this is my baby. And then the pediatrician's like, yeah, it's Dandy Walker. And then the other one's Dandy Walker malformation, Dandy Walker syndrome. And then there's something else. Oh no, I think it's this, blah, 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 blah. So everybody's throwing different diagnoses at you. And sometimes you'll have to get all of them and start learning them. And you have like 5 or 6 of them, and then you have to explain them all the time. So it is complicated. I have an 8-year-old, and I can tell you, I mean, she was a normal baby, which is something else that you learn once you have a special kid. It's that the word normal is not that good or whatever. So with her, I never track her milestones, because I was for sure that she was gonna do it. Nobody told me she was not, so I didn't care. I think she started walking like a year 6 months, and I was like, okay, whatever, she's just lazy. But with this baby, because they already told me there was something wrong, I'm like micromanagement on the baby. So beware, it's normal. We all do it, and it's because we're concerned. We want to give them their best chance, and that's all that we can do. Family, if you're going through this, try to get your family involved, explain them what it is, what to expect, and be patient and do it with love. Because if you're like us, me and my husband personally, we had never have like a family member that it was a special needs, that had autism or anything whatsoever. So we had to learn how to bless you. We had to learn how to, educate other people as well, especially our family. It started from our parents being like crying all the time, like, oh, my granddaughter is sick, and we had to stop them and say, hey, you know what? She's not sick. She doesn't have a flu, or she's not sick. She's just different. And that's something that I have learned just dealing with this. So I think for now, we're gonna leave it like that, because it's been a long video. But I wanna welcome you guys to my channel. And what we're gonna do and try to do is to keep track not only of her progress, but our journey as a family. Because I feel I have looked for other mothers in YouTube that have special needs kids, and I haven't found that many. And I think, there's a lot of people with special needs, and they go through what I went through, and the support is here. So if you guys want to share your story with me, I would love to read it, comment, and if you want to go through the journey with us, go ahead and subscribe.